So today we're dealing with the touchpad, how to replace a touchpad or to exchange it with a different colored touchpad. As you will see, I have the controller in front of me. There's the touchpad area on top of the controller. And this is what the touchpad looks like after you've taken all of the electronics off of it. Here is a touchpad that has a stickum that was not so easily taken off. But if once you become very experienced with taking this off, the stickum will tend to not pose as much of a problem. You'll be able to get completely underneath there without really displacing any of the stickum. Again, you see the one without the stickum and the one with the stickum. You can just scratch it on off if you want to. So there are numerous different touchpads that we can use. This one is a red plastic one. This one is painted over with a gold paint, but I would recommend not using the ones painted over with chrome paint because they have a thickness of paint that makes it very hard for the contact between your finger and the touchpad, and sometimes results in problems with touchpad functionality. So certain games have a lot of sensitivity for touchpad, and if you run your finger across one of these, you'll find that it's very thick with paint, and it makes it very hard for the controller to process your movement on top of it. So I would recommend not using the ones painted, but just using these plastic ones. Anyway, this is a blue plastic one that I have on another controller that I made for a friend, but he changed out cases, so now I have this case back, and I'm going to switch it up. So first of all, I'm going to take apart the whole controller. You can look at my other videos on YouTube on this channel that have my teardowns for controllers. But for efficiency of this video, I am going to speed past this process. And if you wanted to, you can always ask for a link to my other videos so you can find out more. All right, so we reveal the control panel. Sorry, the circuit board. The circuit board has the touchpad ribbon cable attached to it, so we have to flip up this little switch, and this is the first part of the touchpad ribbon cable. Then it has a little pad that you can pull on out, a little tab you can pull out, and that reveals the rest of the circuit board. You just need to then unscrew the circuit board from the main controller, which I will do right here, and that should allow us to take the entire circuit board off. So basically it's only held down by that screw and that ribbon cable being plugged in. After you've done that, then you can take off this plastic interior case, and that reveals the touchpad. So the touchpad, as you can see, it is held into the controller now, and you need to spin it out, meaning you're going to apply pressure to the bottom of it. Getting a little blurry here, so these technical difficulties are going to clear up in just a moment here. After it clears up, then I'll show you the pressure needs to be added to the bottom of the touchpad, and that's going to allow you to kind of spin it out. So you apply that pressure, and there's a little hook there. You pull it down, and you pull it out. Now you see the touchpad. So here's the back of the touchpad again. The back of the touchpad has a black stiffener on it that is holding down the circuit board of the touchpad to the touchpad. So this black stiffener, we first need to take it off by finding some type of flat thing like a flathead screwdriver or a box cutter or a credit card, or you could even use the cell phone pry bar. So I'm going to show you how to, if you were to do it with the flathead screwdriver, this is what you would do. Find a flathead screwdriver or flathead screwdriver, and then put it on top of the screwdriver, and then try to pry up this little stiffener right here. The only problem with this would be that what it would create would be a piece of metal going inside of a very sensitive area with a circuit board. This could lead to a lot of damaging to your board. And so for the less experienced controller fixer, I would say that you would want to use this pry bar. Use a plastic pry bar or something plastic that is not going to damage the circuit board as well as interfere with the signals that the circuit board is giving. So as you can see, I get under this little tiny corner over here with my pry bar, and then I can just kind of add leverage and pry it up. Not very hard. After that, you can pull it off with your fingers. There's just two pieces of tape that are holding it on, as you can see there. So the two pieces of tape are located in one corner and the other corner, the top corner and the bottom right corner. You also see that hole right there. That hole is made so it can slip right over the ribbon cable that is extending out from the circuit board of the touchpad, as you can see there. Alright, so then we have revealed the circuit board that is attached to the touchpad. We're going to want to get that circuit board off. So again, we'll take our little plastic pry bar and we will go under this little lip that they give us right here in order to get our pry bar underneath. We don't want to apply too much pressure. If we were to pull it up way too fast or apply too much pressure, it might crack. So we're going to find another piece of plastic, maybe a credit card or something like that, and slide it right underneath the space that we've already made with that pry bar. And we can kind of work it in. So what this is doing is creating less surface area that the tape can stick to the main body of the touchpad. But at the same time, it is not applying too much pressure, so we will crack the circuit board. So we're going to get it wedged under there pretty well, and then we go to the other side with our pry bar once again, and kind of create a way that we can lift the entire thing up without cracking. We're trying to get as much surface area underneath as we can without cracking that, and that pops right off. So you'll see there is a little bit of the residual sticky tape that's underneath, but I got most of it off without a problem. So you'll see now that you have the touchpad circuit board that has been taken off. And then we're going to be replacing it onto, as I said, this blue touchpad right here. So the blue touchpad is exactly the same as that black one, and we're going to be treating it exactly the same when we're putting it back together. Just get the circuit board, find exactly where that lip goes, and put it right on top, right there. So then, after we put that on top, then we will get that black piece of stiffener, the plastic black stiffener, to put on top. So first, look at this cable right here. This cable is held together only by a switch right here. So you pull up that little switch. That little switch allows you to take off the ribbon cable. Then put that ribbon cable back in, just to make sure that it is in fact held on correctly. Once in a while, if you pull a little bit too hard with the touchpad, that cable might pull off, and so you want to make sure that it's in there correctly. There's a black line that indicates it's on correctly. Now we can put the stiffener back on by putting the stiffener exactly as I showed you before, putting that hole right over the top of the ribbon cable, and just get it on through there. Make sure it doesn't keep on sticking to the tape like it did right now. Put that on there, and then the stiffener can, you can press that down. But I did want to also show you one other thing about using double-sided tape. Just in case the stickiness or the tape rubbed off on the bottom of your touchpad circuit board, you're going to want to take a little tiny piece of double-sided tape and then stick it down to make it more fit. Right now, I'm not having that problem with the one that I've created, but just in case that happens to you, like you saw earlier in my video, there was one touchpad that was not the stickum had not been taken off very well. You'll make sure that this piece of double-sided tape is about the right size of the touchpad. You could use that box cutter if you wanted to, or you can just use your double-sided tape to cut down the piece of double-sided tape. Your roll to cut down the double-sided tape. So get that on there without having it stick to every other surface. It's kind of a problem, but get that on there. Tear it off again, and you got it about the right size now. You could use that box cutter if you wanted, but we've got it about the right size now, and we'll just lay it down right on top of the controller pad. Not rocket science here. So then you put the touchpad controller back down on top, but we're not going to need to use that today, so I'll take the piece of double-sided tape off, and I'll put that touchpad right back on. Okay, apply a little bit of pressure on both sides to make sure that the entire thing is sticking down. Again, we don't want to touch the component, so we work around the outside. The one thing that is going to create the pressure to push the entire thing down as well is going to be the stiffener. So you get the stiffener and you put it over the top of that cable again, and the stiffener is in place. Then you push that down, and now you've got yourself a touchpad. This is how to change from black touchpad to blue touchpad to green touchpad to any color touchpad you want. So, with that being said, that's how you'll do that. After that, you would just do the process in exactly the opposite way by putting it right back into the controller. I'm going to show you one more thing that I can attach the touchpad cable to the board. Voila, you have it. That's pretty much how to change a touchpad. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was educational and it helped out a lot of people who are trying to mod their controllers. Thank you very much.